Hey, how's it going? This is Tom Burkhardt from Car-Revs Daily in the 2015 Chevy Trax, going out for a drive on video to show off this compact SUV's handling prowess. It's actually a pretty good car. It's this Chevy Trax is new for 2015 and is the compact SUV segment. Chevy's entrant into the compact SUV segment. So this will compete with the upcoming Honda HR-V, which is like a mini CR-V, the Jeep Renegade, Fiat 500X, Nissan Juke, vehicles like the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, and a bunch of other upcoming stuff. So this is a really hot segment because it basically what it offers buyers is the fuel economy and city maneuverability of a compact car, but the view forward and a little bit of the style and versatility of SUVs, including available all-wheel drive on this Chevy Trax. So with a base price of about $20,000 to $21,000 bare bones, we come in at about $22,500 for this LT model as tested, and then about $24,000 for the LTZ, which has everything from the LT, but includes 18-inch wheels versus 17s and a few other goodies. But overall, I think the Trax is really surprising because I just expected it to be god-awful. I don't know why. I've been excited about the car and sort of cheering GM on, or Chevy in particular, for bringing the Trax to the U.S. market after it's been sold in Europe and a couple other places globally for a few years. About a year and a half, actually, pretty recently. And it's good that Chevrolet is bringing it to the U.S. market because it really broadens their range below the Equinox and supplements or replaces actually the previous Captiva, which was a long-running vehicle that started life as a Saturn and then became a fleet-only GM option late in life. And you're actually looking at someone who has extensively tested the Captiva, which is, I'm in a pretty rare group of people. But the Captiva was decent. Like, it drove really well. It had great, sort of European-style handling, solid steering, good brakes, but it had a really bad driving position, terrible technology, and looked, 1,000 years old. So with this new Trax, Chevy is hoping to become a lot more efficient and sell a ton of these things because it really speaks to a lot of those buyer needs, like we said. So what makes it pretty good? So first off, it's got a really good technology suite with the 7-inch Chevy MyLink system as equipped in this model. And overall, you get in, it's pretty comfortable. You've got power adjustable seats, a big range of adjustment in the steering column here. We can get pretty comfortable overall, and even for for average Americans, there's plenty of room in here, and it also has pretty solid handling, even with electronic steering. It's pretty grippy, pretty eager, and just overall a very solid proposition. It handles well without riding very harshly, and has really good interior refinement considering the $20K base price, which is, as we know, really cheap for any SUV. So what are the trade-offs for that level of affordability versus it's pretty good technology and decent cabin overall in terms of comfort? Well, the trade-off is really like some material quality in here is pretty lousy. Like, this stuff is all super hard, and some of the plastics are really hard. So that's one trade-off that you're gonna get. Turn around right here. And then some other stuff is that the seats are like relatively small, even though they're pretty comfortable. They have very little side bolster support, but not really a big deal. I mean, just something you would notice if you were more used to just high performance vehicles, I suppose. So the list of great things that the Chevy Trax does is much longer. This vehicle is equipped with a 1.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and this transmission is good. It's a great powertrain. We have the turbo plus the 6-speed automatic is modern technology and does really well on gas. We have 138 horsepower and 148 foot-pounds of torque. it's a pretty low rev peak, and as you heard, the transmission, you know, is eager to kick down. It definitely makes the most of that power. The sprint time to 60 miles an hour comes in at about 9.5 to 10 seconds. So it's not super fast objectively, but it feels fast. It feels like it's got some urge on throttle, and it's really, really efficient. In the front wheel drive model, which is the standard drivetrain, we have been averaging about 31 to 32 miles per gallon. And the EPA stats are 26 in the city and 34 on the highway, which is really good. I mean, that's really good for an SUV with commanding ride height, some cool style, and the versatility of, you know, the fold down back seat and big cargo area. So that's decent. With all-wheel drive, you know, those are dinged by a few miles per gallon on each chart. But overall, I mean, it's a pretty impressive tally for the little Chevy Trax. So we just have a front-wheel drive model here, so we're not going to go too bananas in terms of testing out its soft-roading capabilities. But we're on the way to a photo shoot location, so I figured I'd just keep recording. I'm really pleased with the Chevy Trax. I think that buyers will really like what it offers. And the key USP versus lots of the economy cars out there is that you're not in some sort of like sad little economy car or sad little compact. And that's pretty real. I mean, the most experience I have with driving compacts recently was with the 2015 Hyundai Accent GLS, which is a good car. It really is, but it's just kind of like depressing to drive, and it's definitely not cool, even with its new LEDs. So the Chevy Trax works hard to bring a lot of that coolness to the table, but keep a lot of the great benefits that people like about economy cars and compacts, which is, you know, great fuel efficiency, easy to park, easy to maneuver, and overall just a really reliable and solid vehicle to own. So that definitely applies for the Chevy Trax, and I'm really liking it. I'm liking it, guys. Listen, you know, you heard me say it. I thought it was going to be god awful. It's not the most beautiful vehicle in the world, but it does have some cool styling cues. And where are we going here? We're out. It has some cool styling cues, and it looks very modern. It looks modern and young and hip, and there are a lot of really a few bright color options to choose from. We've got like a bright red in this model. We're in like some disused agriculture land near Charleston, South Carolina here right now, looking for a photo spot. You've got a good ride height. With that available all-wheel drive, I think that this would be a solid vehicle for people who live in northern climates, where they do get a lot of snow and a lot of nasty weather. So this really brings a lot of the same SUV benefits that you might get in a much bigger vehicle, but is just a lot cheaper. So, all right, this is Tom Burkhardt for Car Revs Daily in the 2015 Chevy Trax. It's a good car. It drives really well, and it looks pretty cool too. All right, see you soon. Thanks.